Huh? Mystery. I'm just going to put this back up. Mystery number 1. You have a mysterious death at a hospital. Not a lot of people know who did this crime. And you have 5 people. One person a doctor, the town sort of head and a second in command, a religious person, and a sort of patient who sort of fell in love. But you would know this, Crime Scene 0, episode 1 and 2. So the reason why I like this is because when you get to some of the mysteries, obviously this is a game show, so this isn't scripted. There are scripted parts because it's a murder mystery. All of the people have backgrounds, motivations to cause them. And at first, you're just trying to figure out how she got up there. And when you look at the roof, well, it can't be that because she's currently hanging, but with the roof, it's a bit harder to do. So it's harder to see what happened. And when you see all the things, all the incidents, definitely later when you see some of the people being like having full on with the religious figure, a body, you see explanations of what happens, motivations, but you definitely see this sort of like good doctor being maybe killed by someone who's not good. Definitely when one of the people has a fake ID and could be a killer in one of the biggest out there. Obviously fake, they're not actual fakes, these are just backgrounds. But the reason why I like this is because when you slowly do more and more through the first episode, you don't really get much about the background of her. Most of the stuff is around either one of the accomplice, not one of the suspects. The body in the sort of like religious figure thing, the idea that someone might have this mental thing where makes people, if you look at them, think that, oh, you fall in love. Obviously there's the police officer, which I will mention, but at the very least, I'm not going to say, oh, it's that person, because they put in the game show about it's one of the 5, and then you have the police officer. So the 5 are the suspect, the police officer just can't care. You have the idea of just lots of mannequins and mannequin figures being with sort of like the second hand, sort of like the village head, and obviously the fake ID from the other person. And when you look into more, you start looking into more things, how one of the success stories from this, and I mentioned this, very effed up part of the person's thing, which was basically the idea that one of the people there did what the actual doctor who didn't do this good thing. She would sort of do this thing and sort of like lobotomizing people, which if you don't know, sort of like going in the brain. It was a surgery that existed way ago. This exists nowadays, so technically it's illegal. You should not do this. This is not a thing you should do. It's an illegal thing because there are damages. There's a case about this where you can survive without your frontal lobe. That's not a recommendation. You need your brain, weirdly enough. But there's a lot of things that make them question what's going on, what is actually happening, and why is it happening. And when you sort of piece it together, you realize who it is, which is the religious figure. Most of the other ones don't actually kind of make sense. You have the head of the thing who turns out to be, again, fake ID, but his date was changed. So he didn't know why that happened. So he was planning something, but never actually did anything. And then you have this sort of, I didn't mention it too much, but sort of like the nurse sort of taking the ID and using it. But again, she didn't really have anything and didn't know about the secret room. that she was doing these operations in, which obviously the killer did need to know. And then you have the person who had the operation. But again, all of it is really interesting, and when you slowly put together the pieces, that she had sort of her son's heart, not the victim, but the sort of religious person's son's heart in her, so sort of like, I think it was her heart, to replace it because of a bad heart. She needed to sort of bury the heart for the religious reasons. But again, it's really interesting, it's really fun. Definitely when you slowly put together the pieces of who actually did it. They've put it, even though it's a game show, they put it together so that you can figure it out. You just need to find all the pieces. It's so fun and definitely worth interesting. But I hope you enjoy it, and good night.